and you could run a rock crusher off them as well. But these were, City of Ballarat, no doubt, had most of these new. Still pedaling, very fit lady. And of course, the other thing is, the road roller was how, in latter day times, they invented the slow motion replay. And in fact, this machine would be very apt today. The unions would love this machine, work to rule, slow. There we go, up there, ticking away like a Swiss watch. Aveling Porter roller going by, owned by Johnny. Look out, I'm going to be in the firing line here. Again, a road roller towing the Furphy cart. John Franks, a local from around these parts, you might say. Up there driving away, the lovely little Aveling Porter roller. Again, a road roller. The Furphy cart would be not uncommon for it to tow around to keep water up to it if they were operating in remote areas. Tiny, an engine that's been here since the first Goldsmith rally here, and was converted from a road roller into a traction engine. And I've said this many, many times for many people who have been coming here for a while. Before Slater and Gordon and Morris and Blackburn, we used to, after the Grand Parade, we'd put Tiny up here, we'd get a big long rope and we'd get all the kids out here to have a tug of war. And it was hilarious, absolutely hilarious. They'd let the engine just creep back down the hill and the kids would think they were winning, and when they were all on that angle, he'd put it in gear and put them on that angle. It was like a house of dominoes. Dun, 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 dun. Nowadays you'd win 100,000 on Funniest Home Video, but then you'd have Slater and Gordon after you because the fun police won't let us have any fun anymore. John Fowler, 6 horse, owned by the Scobies, formerly owned by TK Brown of Coleraine. 6 horse engine, beautiful little engine, very, very versatile. Drive a small thrasher or a mill, chaff cutter, around the farm doing a whole host of work. These little engines, again from England, and imported out to Australia, as I said, would have gone into a government hands most probably first up, although some of the bigger stations would buy these brand new, but a lot of them went to the local governments and then found their way back into contractors' hands. Like a mobile going around, went for a lap on that before. Quite lively, does about 25 k's an hour, and very, very lively when you put your foot down. Sentinel Super truck, if you want to call it that, 1925 model. And you can see what we're getting into here. We're getting into tray truck mode. We're driven by steam. We've got our vertical boiler sitting in here. We got to hard rubbers, but look at this. We're really starting to get into the more modern mechanised era. We've got a drop steering box here, sitting here. We've got a set of springs, leaf springs under the front. We've got a cabin with a door, which is hot in summer, a little bit warmer in winter maybe, and of course the rain would drive in. But we've got a roof over our head. We're really starting to change the shape of how transport's run. We're still chain driven. We've got leaf springs on the rear, but we've got a tray. What a revolution from having horses to going to this. And then of course the next step was Bedford and Austin. Now we've got Hino and Isuzu, thank God. So there we go, hard rubber wheels. These also came out later on with pneumatic tyres, where they were just one step removed, diff and everything in them, one step removed from the petrol or diesel engine down the front. Foden, an engine that was a local, well, semi-local engine, I suppose, was down at the Yellow Waipora and was grabbed by the Scobies and restored up to what it is today. And of course Foden are still around today in trucks in Europe. Very, very big company over in Europe, the old Foden. And they have a very, very unique sound, even in a steam engine. They sound totally different to a Burrell and a Fowler and all that. Here we go, the International Harvester of America. And American engines. Now, a lot of people don't like the American engines. They were built totally different. But let me tell you, they'll steam on a box of matches. They're a lot lighter. They have a steam dome on them, so once you get steam up, they will create, and you still got your belt pulley, a lot lighter constructed engine than the English engine, easier to produce. Supposedly not meant to last as long, but a very, very good engine. And a lot of people in this country don't like them. The purists don't like the American engines. But let me tell you, Buffalo Pitts, Case, and all that built a very, very nice engine. Buffalo Pitts is, as I say, you can put 2 boxes of Bryan and May matches in them and make 30 pounds of steam. They were a brilliant steamer. Big fireboxes on them for the size of the boilers. The Burrell. What a magnificent piece of equipment, ladies and gentlemen. Road locomotive, sprung colonial engine, 1907. This belonged to the late T.K. Brown of Coleraine and was a pile of scrap. Flying across the Tasman every year, twice a year, the Miles family restored it to what you see today. One of 2 left in the world, and a very, very nice engine. Did a lot of heavy haulage work called Vasey Lady around Vasey, Hamilton, Mount Gambier, Casterton, Coleraine. This machine here did a lot of hard work, pulling all sorts of stuff off the rail and transporting it inland around that part of the globe. And she ticks over magnificently. Our people mover on the back, and which is a great thing to have here. And of course, when we take it round to different areas, of course, it gives us a little bit of advertising as well. So the Burrell there ticking away, very, very nice indeed. And our people mover on the back trickling around. Another Sentinel steam wagon. And again, as we said, very, very similar sprung. But notice this is a bit earlier model, totally different in the steering arrangement here. No steering box. A little bit more primitive than the other Sentinel floating around. We've got our leaf springs, we've still got our hard rubbers, but we certainly are chain driven. Tray. Cab's a little bit different shape on this one compared to our other Sentinel getting around. But again, we're really starting to move into the more modern mechanised era. These were used off the wharves and everything for transporting inwards, and we have another Foden that usually comes here from the Navy, and of course they used it for stocking the ships. But what a revolution, you didn't have horses. You didn't have to stop every hour and a half, give them a break, water, feed, whatever. You could keep, provided you could get water and coal, water and wood, you could keep on trucking, so to speak. Victorious, another engine here that's been here a long, long time, ladies and gentlemen. Owned by the late J.A. Norris, who was our longest standing secretary and most probably committee member for many, many years. And Eric Wolverson now owns the mighty Vicky and has featured in a lot of ABC productions, this engine, going back many, many years ago. So it's been around here a long, long time. Victorious is its name, and been here, well, it's as old as Methuselah. The Clayton, owned by Eric, is another engine that was owned by J.A. Norris, the late J.A., and Eric up there on this. Now, this thing has a very checkered history. If anything could go wrong with something, this had it happen. And I'm not being rude, and Eric knows what I'm talking about. If there was anything that could possibly bugger up, it would happen to this. But again, a Clayton, again, a steam truck, as you can see, chain driven. We've got our springs, but no leaf spring. We're more like a traction engine front end on this, with a leaf spring upside down, so to speak, Miss Jane, for those who watch Mr. Squiggle. And very nice little engine, again, used for a whole host of things. After these boilers were finished with, a lot of them found their way into hothouses and flower growing areas. The boilers were the perfect size for, now that's a wooden wheeled bike, that is rare. Even I know that. I'm not sure whether he's been on the sherry or that's wobbling because of the wheels, but anyway, very, very rare. So the Clayton going by. Now, ladies and gentlemen, get your camera out. This is a typical scene of what you would see around this part of the world, right through down from the Riverina. A Fowler engine, 7 or 8 horse, pulling a mill or a thrasher, and they would travel from northern New South Wales to the Warrnambool coast, thrashing grain. And it didn't matter what sort of grain, wheat, rice, barley, peas, you name it, these things would thrash it. This is a Ransom Sims and Freeze thrasher, contractor, Leviathan, and very big thrasher, contracting wise, would have been worth a lot of money in its day. And this particular thrasher can still tick over, no worries at all. Has a bit of a history. It was operating and owned out of the Warrnambool and Dunkeld area, and the owner of it lost both his legs. He dropped into the drum and it chewed off both his legs. It then found its way out to Attn, where it was owned by the Hamilton family, and they used to use it for seed cleaning for many, many years. And then my cousin and myself, Graham Milton, we purchased it off the Hamiltons and brought it down here to Lake Goldsmith. It had a few problems. It had a smashed front axle, which has been replaced, and a fair bit of stuff done on it over the years. But a good example of a contracting model, a thrasher, a Ransom Sims and Jeffries. And the original tractor that they used at Attn to drive this for the seed cleaning used to come to Lake Goldsmith quite regularly as well. That is a very nice bike. Cowley roller going past again. Phil Smyce, Cowley. I think we've got the Cowley roller market covered here at Lake Goldsmith. We've gone from none to 3. Another lovely little Foden, not that little, being potted on by. And if Richard gives it a bit of a gun up off the mark, the Fodens have a different noise when they take off under load. If we give it a bit of a woof, we're not going to give it a woof. Not listening. So there we go, ladies and gentlemen. There's a bit of a look at some great machinery from all around the place. We have another Fowler coming up behind there as well. But what about a big round of applause, ladies and gentlemen, for our grand parade here on the 109th. And thank you to our Alice Chalmers people. Ladies and gentlemen, I hope you're enjoying your day here at Lake Goldsmith. We think it's one of Australia's most hidden treasures, and we hope to see you coming back here for many, many years to come. If you're only here for today, but if you're coming back tomorrow, I'm sure you'll have another great day here. And once again, thanks for coming out to Lake Goldsmith, and hope to see you for many, many years to come. Thank you, ladies and gents.
Oh,